unforgettable.
Some people, places, and events leave an everlasting effect on us. And today we will analyze a very special lady from another Wong Kar Wai movie, In the Mood for Love, which tells a story about two married couples who happened to rent rooms in a guest house in the 1960s Hong Kong. The film focuses on the husband of one couple, Mr. Chow, and the wife of the second couple, Mrs. Chan, as they gradually grow more and more fond of each other in a romantic way, which surprises them. The movie In the Mood for Love is also a part 1 of the movie I have previously analyzed on my channel, 2046, where we could see the aftermath of this affair. We saw more of Mr. Chan and his many love situationships with many different women after he parted ways with Mrs. Chan. And among all those women, there was only one that he could never forget, the one that got away, Mrs. Chan. And in today's video, we will make a deep dive into the character and we will see what made her so special. We will once again see the beauty of old-fashioned classic femininity and masculinity of the 1960s Hong Kong. And so please pay attention to the beautiful outfits we will see throughout the video for both the masculine and feminine side. In the Mood for Love is a part 1 of another movie that I have done a character analysis on, 2046. For the analysis of 2046, I have chose a character who was so beautiful and classy, a woman looking like a queen, but she certainly lacked many most important traits we will mention in today's video. And this is why, ladies, I truly believe and often say that the outside beauty does not matter and that the majority of the effect you will make on other people is with your energy, your character, and the way you act and are. One lady did make a huge impression with her looks, but as we saw in the movie 2046, she lacked a lot of character. Mrs. Chan from the movie In the Mood for Love was a much more simple and regular woman, but she did make a big impression on our main character with her character and the way she carried herself. And so let's then dive right into the video. So point number 1 is being put together. I think wardrobe plays a huge role in our social life. I feel better when I look better. It makes me feel like each day is more special like this. Your looks also play a huge role in making the first impression. You can also truly impress someone with the way you look. I think we also convey a certain message with your style and the way we look. I truly think everyone should find their own style. And so pay attention to the things you like and wear your personality on the outside. The things you find beautiful and the things that inspire you. I, for example, was inspired by our today's character, but I will never wear this type of dresses. She inspired me to make my outfits more minimal and to pay attention to details like we can see her purses, the lunchbox she's having, the jewelry and shoes. She inspired me to buy things that are beautiful and rock them to the best of my ability. And here the philosophy of Marie Kondo plays a big role for me. We need to keep and wear those things that truly spark joy and ones that we find beautiful. Being put together is a must if we want to appear and feel attractive. But we need to remember that we can only get attention with our looks, but we cannot keep it with our looks only. And this is why the inner beauty is so important. And so point number 2 is integrity. I have never mentioned this quality in any of my movie analysis, but this is something that makes a huge impression, not only on me, but on the male character Mr. Chan, and something I have noticed in real life. Being pretty and well dressed is not enough, and this is only something that will make you gain attention. But to keep someone and appear in their desires and dreams, we must also have the inner beauty that I mentioned. I have already done a video analysis on Anna from the movie Damage, and I will link it down below. She was taken care of, she looked nice, but it was her energy that made him so much into her. And so we must remember that we can never make someone so in love and obsessed only with our looks. There are so many character nuances that play a huge role here. The eye contact, the way we speak, and the way we are in the world. That's why I love making those analyses. I believe that we can improve by 1% each time and maybe find and grow a certain quality in us. And coming back to today's character, they were both married and it was important for her not to cross the line. She didn't want to be a side chick. She didn't want to break her marriage vows even though her husband was already cheating on her. I find this very impressive about this character. Having strong integrity is a part of a strong character and certainly a very respectable thing. I think this is one quality that will make all people respect us more in dating scenarios as well. Point number 3 is an obstacle, and this point comes from a dark psychology and also the triangle method that I spoke about in video about movie Damage. Obstacles create desire. It is like I want but I can't type of situation, and certainly it is something that fuels any romantic relationship. And it is also well visible here. And having an obstacle doesn't have to be done in a manipulative way, trying to use someone into entangling them into the situation. And that's to say that having a rich social life, some friendships, hobbies that are outside of the relationship creates the desired outcome as well. Not being easily and always accessible forces respect and admiration. And whether it is your partner or a new guy you are dating, it shows that you have a lot going on in your life besides the new or existing relationship. So we can easily create such healthy triangle with other things like hobbies that are only ours. In our movie In the Mood for Love, the obstacle was the marriage status of both parties. Obstacles create desire and certainly fuel the relationship, but we can find a natural and healthy obstacle in our relationships too. Point number 4 is femininity, and I truly love how this point appears in most of my movie and character analysis, as it is very needed and such a crucial element. It creates not only much higher level of attraction in a masculine energy partner, but it also adds a lot to our relationship overall energy and vibe. Our today's character not only was appearing feminine on the outside by taking care of her appearance, wearing dresses, high heels, and feminine accessories, she also had a very laid-back, caring, and empathetic aura. I love how she would take the step back and let the male protagonist lead and pursue her. She was receptive to his actions in a very distant way, but also she was fully there in the moment, allowing for the masculine energy to take the lead and win her. I just love their very subtle glances and the way he would admire her secretly. Point number 5 is to be the art and let yourself be admired. And so we must really remember that we are the art, and the moment a man sees such admirable quality in us, we need to let ourselves be admired. Don't take his admiration as a sign that he is interested. This is the part of letting the man take the lead. Admiration is not a real pursuit. In our story, Mr. Chow could not make a step forward as he was married, and he knew Mrs. Chan was also. He was admiring her from afar. But it shows the importance to not rush things and let the man take one step forward, and you must match it only to this extent. If he admires you, you can show some admiration towards him, but wait for the next step. If he invites you for a date, you can accept the date if you are interested, but don't think there will be a second date. Let the man take one step forward and you will only match it to the same length. This is exactly what leading is in dancing. The male partner is proposing a step and inviting you, and you take that step and wait for the next move. On the contrary, Mr. Chow also admired Beiling, but she took this admiration as his interest in a relationship with her. She moved things further than him by going to bed with him, and this is when he rejected her, and she accepted her prostitute status in the relationship. And she was very disappointed had and heard once he moved on to another woman. And now, on a final note, I think Mrs. Chan is a very good example of a classic femininity. I love to see the 1960s Hong Kong fashion and customs throughout those both movies that I have analyzed on my channel, and I could not find any point to criticize about this lady. I think she is a very good role model. I also strongly encourage you to check my movie analysis for the 2046, where I make a deep dive into the character Bailing. And so, seeing both movies, we can clearly see the difference in the way those both ladies carried themselves. And based on other movie analysis, we can notice once again how the inner beauty, our character and energy will always win at the end over the outer appearance. That's why I strongly believe we should keep working on ourselves from the inside out and keep finding and developing ourselves.